My name is Dell Anne Patterson. David is my husband, and we have been here members since about the year 2000. My struggle with drugs and alcohol and depression, probably a lot of neurosis as well as divorce, began a long time ago. I know that living in New Orleans probably didn't help my drinking and drugs, but in the 60s, that's what you did. I was married and pregnant in 1966, which was not a thing to do, and began a real life downward spiral with drugs and alcohol, and a lot of depression and sadness about my sad life and feeling sorry for myself. After 20 years of marriage and taking a lot of pain pills and antidepressants and going through counseling and even getting in some trouble with the law, I was divorced. Divorce may have been the worst thing to happen to me. My greatest fear was to be alone in the world with 2 children, and somehow I saw myself starving and no one to help me, parents, much less God. With that deepest, horriblest thing happened, which in my case was divorce, was the first time in my entire life at the age of 40 that I got on my knees and said to someone, I need help. I can't do this alone. God put a wonderful woman in my life, and we began to meet regularly. She was a member of AA as well. And I used to call her the Wicked Witch of the West. But she loved me enough to straighten me out and to recognize that God did love me and to remind me of that. And slowly but surely, I began to recognize that I could walk with God every day. I could not drink. I didn't have to take pills. I could really go through life and be happy and grateful what I did have in my life. I had 2 wonderful children and a good future and a good job. When you begin to do just a few things, the God that I love and adore and worship today is not a Santa Claus, but He does reward and take care of those that are seeking Him. And I tried every day to do that and to recognize that with His help I could handle anything. When that came along, I met my husband David, which was a nice time to happen, and we've been happily married for 19 years. And so we have this blended family of 6 children, 5 of them married, which makes 11 kids, and 19 grandchildren, as well as my father-in-law, who is recently widowed, living across the street, and my mother living with me. Life is not dull. I have a full-time job, David has a full-time job, and we have the usual life's issues that go on with a family that large. I have a grandson that's diabetic. We have a grandchild that was born with Down syndrome. You cannot have a day go by that one of those kids or grandchildren or mother or father doesn't have an issue. But you recognize that as a family, walking and attempting to have God in your life, you can solve any problem. And if you can't solve it, you can get through it with prayer, with any support that you need. I've often said alcoholism is very patient because it will patiently wait for one of those things in your life to go wrong. And that's where I see the evil one just stepping up and saying, remember what your solution was when life got tough. You would turn to a Valium, you would turn to a margarita, all in the name of relaxing, and it would be out of hand in no time at all. Your life would go down very quickly, but that was always your solution. That never goes away. I still find myself on Friday nights after a hard week, and they've treated me hard at work, and the kids have all had problems, and somebody needed to borrow money, and somebody else had a problem, that a drink sounds like the way to close out the week. And that's not the solution. But it's a constant struggle. I will not kid you that depression hits a lot. I still feel sorry for myself when things don't go the way I think they should. I still want to reach for something to make it better. Just take the pain away, take that sadness away, take the frustration away. I'm learning, and it's taken a long time. Some of us are a little slower. Those of us that grow slower maybe endure a little longer, but it takes a while, but slowly but surely you recognize there are other solutions. There are other ways to handle this problem. You can be happy, and you can be joyous, and you can be free, and you can not have to do drugs or alcohol or take antidepressants or any of the things that I thought I had to do. If anyone's out there that has heard Chris talk about, we aren't a perfect church, but if you're looking for other people and other souls that have struggled and had problems, you're at the right place. I would like to tell you that I found the right place, and I think you can. If you're feeling that alcohol, that prescription drugs, that divorce is the answer for everything, there are solutions here. There are answers here. We have a wonderful Celebrate Recovery. We have wonderful lessons that God walks with you every day and walks with your struggles and cares. Don't hesitate to ask anyone in this church where you can get help, because you can find it here.